this should be working. Right? Hopefully. Hold on, I guess you're gonna catch up to the delay soon enough. Whoop! Damn it. Right? Shut up, me. Right. Gee, my game is off today. So, hi everyone. I can see Otto, Grace, Heather, Dan, Cyan, Sam, Jacqueline, and Patricia, and Kiharu. Welcome, welcome. All right, so a super quick show and tell before I get started. Otto made me realize that Jackson's was selling the Ultimo brushes in regular, you know, round, not travel. And well, I had saved up a bit of my affiliate money, so I bought a few because they are really becoming my favorite brushes. So I wanted to try the regular brushes. So I got a size 1, 2, 6, 10, and 18, which is huge. It's such a big brush. So I'm not really sure how I will use this super large brush, but I think it could be great for washes on larger formats. But yeah, it's gonna be difficult to get used to it because I'm pretty sure it will hold a lot of water, so I expect to have a few cauliflowers happening at first. So new brushes, and also I wanted to show this super awesome sparkly lovely brush rest that my friend Kymba made. I've put her links in the description, and if you want to have a resin super sparkly, super nice brush rest, she just started making those to test it out, to see if it was, you know, kind of something of interest and actually useful. She had many colors of resin, and yeah, so I really like it. I got the orange one with sort of green yellow flakes in it. I don't know if the sparkling will register well, but it is super sparkly, and like the resin itself has kind of a super faint shimmer in it, and I really like it. And it's, you know, it's a unique item, and it's made by a friend, so I'm super excited to use this. I have a few brush rests now, but this one is like has room for what, 7 brushes, so that's pretty handy when you're like inking and painting and doing many things at once. So yep, that's it for the show and tell. Okay, so I've put the link to the Ultimo brushes in the description as well. It's gonna open up to sort of a page where you can choose from a drop-down menu which model of brushes you want. And if I'm not mistaken, the regular rounds like this are the model 1525. So you choose 1525 from the drop-down menu, and it should give you access to the range of regular Ultimo brushes. So today's gonna be exactly like last time, except that I'm gonna skip the hot press paper and go straight away to the cold press paper. I am using cellulose cold press. This huge pad of 60 sheets. It's the local chain, Dessert. I was about to say that with an English accent and it just threw me off. But yeah, Dessert. They made a deal with Fabriano, so they have like store brand supplies that are actually decent. So yeah, yep. So I'll get started on this. I haven't updated the the Pinterest board with all the references, because last time I was only able to go through 5 of them. 5, 6, 7? Did I do 7 for real? So, yeah, okay, and I wanted to do a bit more from the pool of pictures that I had last time. So, this is the Pinterest board itself. It's on my account. It's Eve Draws Pets, and I've put a section that has the pets that have been drawn in it. So when I use the picture, I will just move it to that section. So that makes it much easier for me to look through the pets that haven't been drawn yet. Okay, I think I will again start with the cat just as a warm-up, because it's a bit easier. Like, I am more familiar with cats. Geez, so many cats. They're all cute. Oh, I'm gonna draw socks. I wanna draw this cutie pie. So there. I think the Fabriano Dessert House brand paper is kind of a recent deal, so it hasn't been available for long. When I saw it, I jumped on it, mostly because, well, Fabriano, so I know I can expect a minimum of quality, and also I really like that it has so many pages, because this is the kind of paper I use to do my swatches and to do sketches and all that. So when they are only sold in pads of, what, 12 pages, well, that just goes by so fast. So you have to buy a ton of pads, and just makes a lot of waste with the cardboard and everything. So when I saw this huge pad, well, thick pad, it's like 20 bucks, 20 Canadian bucks, so not that much. And I decided to try it, and worst case scenario, I could use the paper to make when I make my own paints, sometimes I will make like sample squares on which I drop some paint and I let it dry, and I send it with the orders so people can try different colors. So I told myself that worse, if this paper was really crummy, I could just cut it up and use it for that. It's 140 pounds, so it's good. It's not 90 pounds. And I quite like it. Like I said last time, it's super easy to remove the sheets, and it's no bother to use at all, and I've been enjoying it, so yeah. Cotton content 0, it is, I'm fairly sure it's a student range cellulose paper, because they don't really mention the content. When they don't mention the content, usually it's because it's cellulose. All they say is that this is mixed paper from responsible sources, made with hydropower and acid free. It's 300 GSM, 9x12, 60 sheets, made by Fabriano in Italy, and imported by Dessert, which is the local chain. I'm guessing it's probably similar to the Fabriano Studio. The one, I'm pretty sure they must have one that's only cellulose and cold press, and 140 pounds. Yeah, it's a really good practice paper, truly. There is oddly not a lot of paper. Zoom is a bit okay, hold on. It's not zoomed in, that's the worst. This is relatively close to to my hand. It's just like it's about 1.5 feet away from the table. So do you want me to bring it closer? It's not supposed to autofocus. Hold on. Oh, it's on autofocus. Why? Shoo. Okay. Would that be better? Yeah, it's the stupid webcam. Like every time I start the app, the software to broadcast, it sort of resets the camera for no reason. So sometimes I open it up and it's suddenly like super blurry because it decided to be on the setting that unless you're really close to your object is going to be super blurry. But it's not a good camera, so even if I get close to whatever the camera, it's not going to be amazing. So yeah, and just now it decided to reactivate autofocus. So yeah, that's a huge eraser. It's quite handy when you have a lot to erase, obviously. Yeah, that's it. I am using OBS as well, which is Open Broadcasting. Anyway, OBS, and it just resets the camera all the time. I have a Logitech. I don't remember the model, but it's the one that cannot do HD. It's the one just before the one that could do HD. It said on the thing that it can do HD, like it's written on the camera, but I think it's only for when you're taking photographs, and that they don't say on the packaging. Like they only say, hey, look, 1080, woohoo, and you're like, oh, awesome, I can do HD with this, and then you can't. If you can hear some weird background noise, that's the neighbor talking on the phone. And yawning, apparently. Well, OBS will output the video in 1080, but the input of the camera is lower resolution than that. So I was able to like make it bigger in OBS, but it is sort of blurry and it's not a super sharp image. The neighbor makes me laugh. He seems to be really enjoying himself. Yeah, I have the model that came just before the Logitech C925, so it's like the C6 something or whatnot. I thought it was good because it looked like it was a bit more mobile, so I thought that was a good reason to pick this one. And some of the reviews mentioned the fact that, hey, it can do 1080, and I was like, oh, cool, sounds good, and it's less expensive than the other one. Awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing, and I still enjoy using it, but unless you have good lighting or you know, if you want to do like super precise close-up detail work, that's not the webcam for that. It's not. At some point I will find a way to upgrade. Woo, this is so out of proportions. I am sorry, Socks. Still a cute kitty. Alright, let's start over. Warm up. There. I feel better already. No, for my videos, my regular videos that are not live stream, I film with my phone. It was difficult to set it up at first because I couldn't find a good way to prevent the phone from autofocusing all the time. Because apparently they've decided that no one wants to use the camera in manual fashion, which is dumb. So eventually I was able to find a good app that would let me use the camera without it focusing all the time. I am not sure this version is going to be any better, but I'm trying. I get at least a couple of points for that. It's just a bit difficult because it's there's a part that's in the shadows and it's the dark part of the cat, so I kind of can't really see what's going on. Give him sort of Pikachu head. Yeah, the iPhone is a really good camera. My phone is this one. It's a Samsung S5, so it's not the iPhone's camera, but still does fine. Especially with the lights. Ever since I got the good lights, it's really made a good difference, more than the camera. The lights are really important. Yeah, Pika Pika. So how is everyone today? How are your pets? Worst thing is that I did draw this morning because I told myself, hey, take some time to draw this morning so you won't be as clunky when you get to this, but I guess it's really not made much of a difference. Like, it's still just what am I doing? I'm so sorry, baby cat. You're much more handsome than this doodle. He has the cutest markings on his face. It's like there's this reverse heart shaped white line that goes over the nose and around that spot of the face, and then the chin is also gray, but everything else is white. So cute. Such a cute baby. And I think he has like, I think he's polydactyl maybe. Seems like there's an extra toe in there. Oh, Jazz is asleep. I hope she's dreaming of awesome hamster things. Aw, Kitty's asleep. Kitty's nibbling on Grace's toe, and Sue, the dog, is panting from playing with new toys. Wow. Oh no! Patricia's cat is under a blanket. Is it a cat or a doggy? But they don't like the storm, so they're hiding from the storm. Yeah, my cats are asleep too. Bun Bun the bunny is still looking for a girl Bun Bun. He's gonna look for a long time. Yeah, the cats are also nocturnal, so they are sleeping by day and giving us hell by night. They're the worst / best / worst all over again. Oh, okay, so Patricia Kizzy is a cat. My cats don't mind the storms as much. Scout is kind of more difficult to face than Peko. Peko is really easy to face, and Peko, she hates the leaf blower, and I can see why she would, because I hate the damn thing too. And there's often fireworks nearby, well, often every year at least, and that's not the big success, especially if the windows are open. That's usually not good. But aside from that, there's the trucks, when there are like garbage trucks or the trucks that clean up the streets. And also they absolutely hate the kind of, I think it has to be a reused ice cream car or something, because it does like this creepy clown music when it goes by the neighborhood. But it's a truck that sharpens knives and scissors, I guess. Like they offer a service of sharpening. So yes, and every time the damn clown car comes by, the cats, they are terrified of the thing. And it does this jingle that really the cats, they can hear it from a mile away and they just hide. But it's not, you know, it's not loud, and the truck is not like making awful truck noises or something, so I am not sure. This is not the best likeness of socks. I am sorry. Oh, Fiona is saying that her pets are asleep, but they are diurnal, and that today they caught a chameleon, but she saved it. Oh, and Kazi is Bodhi's son. I have a picture of Bodhi on the board. How do you deal with a cat freaking out over fireworks? Come on, brain. I try to close the windows so the sound is not loud, and I just give them a place to hide, and that's it. I mean, when cats freak out, they basically want to hide somewhere, so there's not much to be done. I think perhaps someone with a dog would know better how to, because dogs, they don't react the same way. And the thing is when there is the firework, it's not so far away, it's a park nearby, and I often go watch them because I kind of like fireworks. But I see people bring their dogs to the event, and the dogs are terrified, and it's super loud. Like on location, it's insanely loud, and I see like these tiny dogs, they're terrified, they're just yipping, and they don't know where they can go because they're on a leash, and there's literally nowhere to go. So it always makes me sad because I'm like, don't bring your small pet to this event that's going to be super loud, full of people, and I mean, their ears are so much more sensible than ours, and if the sound is loud for us, I don't want to think what it is for them. They don't enjoy the flashy explosions, and you know that's not going to be a factor for them. Oh, that is so nice. Cyan is saying that over there in Finland, there is one hotel that offers pet-friendly rooms for New Year and guarantees there is no fireworks in the area. That's so cool. Yeah, I don't understand. I guess like people, they're just walking their dog and they decide to go check out the fireworks, but there is literally no consideration for the pet's distress, and I find that really appalling. But I often see that, and bear in mind that I am no dog owner, so I've never had a dog, but you know, pets, I mean, if you can have some empathy for a pet, you can have empathy for another pet, I guess. So I'm in Canada, and we have like real winters over here, like not whimsy winters. We have decent winters with, you know, some pretty cold temperature and snow. And I see a lot of people, when it's cold out, they sort of combine doing errands with walking their dogs, which in reality means that you often see dogs that are tied to posts in the winter. And I can't help but think that this is not a super nice thing to do, because it's cold and the dog has literally nowhere to sit that is not an icy cold pavement. And like when I see a bigger dog, I'm like, okay, perhaps they, you know, some dogs, you really like the cold. Like if you have Malamutes or Huskies, they like the cold weather. They don't like to be inside or to be warm at all. So fine, I can see that, but sometimes I see dogs that don't really seem like they're having a great time, and they're still there outside, like waiting for their human to come back. And I'm like, this is a bit of a sad thing. Like either you go out to walk the dog or you go out to do errands, but making the dog wait in the cold is not super great. Grace is saying that there are certain products to help calm pets during loud noises, like a happy hoodie or earmuffs. That's so cute. Good luck putting that to on a cat. But yeah, that sounds much better than just leaving them in distress of, because they don't understand, they don't get it. Like this is just a noise, it's nothing dangerous, it's loud, but it's gonna be over soon, so just hang on and you'll be fine. You cannot really relate that information to a pet. I was checking on the on Mr. E, but he has his earphones on, so he doesn't even hear me. Yeah, Scout will sometimes tolerate a hat, but it's never like there's always this impending feeling of doom that she's just gonna, you know, run away and throw everything away around, and or just, you know, eat me out of spite. Or you get people trying to sneak their dogs into stores. Not a fun for service. No, not at all. It's a bit baffling that some dog owners don't seem to perceive the difference between a service dog and their regular dog. I'm like, well, I can perhaps understand this questioning coming from someone who doesn't have dogs or know dogs. But I mean, if you have a dog, you should maybe be more aware of what they can and cannot do. Oh, it's called Caturday Livestream, but I there's a lot more cats than dogs if you do a tally of sorts. It's just that it's the I decided to draw pets and to not limit the pets to cats, because that's like all animals are cute and I need practice drawing all of them. So I thought I would expand the invitation to all other pets that are not bugs, because bugs. Ugh. Yeah, it's supposed to be a cat. I'm sorry this sketch is sort of terrible, but it's supposed to be Socks, the super adorable cat that I sort of didn't really draw well on this. It's supposed to be, I'm sorry Ashley, it's not a super good sketch, but you sent me more pictures. I will draw a good one eventually. Like the first drawing is a bit like the first pancake, it's never the best one. Sam is sharing a classy joke with us. I'm like a cat. Why? Because when my wife turns on the vacuum cleaner, I run under the bed and pee myself. Not much to add to this. I'm catching up on the chat, sorry guys. Hey, hi Lee, welcome. I can see a lot of new people that I haven't said hi to, but hi everyone who just came in that hasn't been said hi to personally. I'm sorry. I can see that there is Ashley and Lana and Melissa and Lee and James Barton and Visual Mind. I'm laughing because I was talking with someone else who has a significant other named James, and every time I say James, there's like a kind of a mix-up, and it's just funny. So yeah. Oh yeah, to go into stores with pets, I can see why pet stores will allow you to come in with your pets, because that's a pet store and it's sort of cute to allow the pets to pick up their own toys, and also it's not really a problem. And some pet stores, they often have options to have your large dog weighed in, or you know, something like that. So it's a really nice service, and I can see why they are okay with it. Like my local pet store, they don't sell pets, they just sell pet stuff like food and litter and like clothing and stuff for dogs and stuff for all the other pets that I don't know. I'm sorry, but yeah, and you can go in with your cat if your cat is fine with other pets, and you can go in with your dog you know, like okay with that, and they have a huge balance for larger dogs and that kind of stuff, so it's really great. But I don't see people bringing regular dogs into the grocery store. That's just dumb. They're gonna make a number of the meat display and it's gonna be a mess. So far, this is the first time I'm using them, and this is the size 6, and it's amazing. It is super good. I really like these brushes. They haven't disappointed so far. I have a lot of brushes that are being neglected because I really love these, but I guess it was the price to pay so I could find the brush I like. And now that I've found the brush I like, I have like 60 brushes that are unused in my collection that I'm not quite sure what I'll do with, aside maybe reviewing at some point, but yeah. Oh no! Heather is asking, has anyone else heard cats with goatees referred to as Kittler? That's so sad. Like this thing about, you know, pets that, well, usually cats that look like Hitler, they don't know. It's not their fault. They don't understand the historical ramification of having this hair pattern. It just happened. So I feel kind of bad for them because they become a meme, but not a good one, not a positive one. Oh, Denise, hi. It's okay. I got started a bit late because of setting up and being a bit unaware of what was on or not. Melissa is saying that recently in most of Canada we have the law that pet stores can only have adoptions for dogs and cats because of overpopulation of pets from animal mills. Yes, we have that, and I love it so much, and it makes me so happy because I'm 100% in favor of shelter pets. I know people, like friends that have gotten specific breeds of well, cats. I can sort of make more sense of it when it's a dog, but for cats it's a bit pointless in my opinion, and I was a bit disappointed in this friend because I was like, you could bring home, I'm gonna draw Dory, the hamster. You could bring home a pet that sort of really needs a home rather than a pet that is okay, you know. not much is. It's a cat breed. It's gonna be fine regardless. And I mean, it's their decision and they do what they want, but it always makes me a bit sad because I'm like, well, there's so many cute cats that want just, you know, a warm place to be. And it's difficult. I was looking for my sharpener. The Otto is asking, does the travel brush Ultimo and those full-length ones you've got there feel any different? So far, not really. Sorry, the catch goes by so fast. See, this is the size 6 from the travel, and this is the 6 from... Yeah, Adapt, Don't Shop. I wish I could have like a whole set of you know, bags and badges. I have a badge, but like more stuff that says Adapt, Don't Shop because it's really important. Oh, I think I missed on some stuff. Hold on. This is not super easy. Doop-de-doo. Okay. Okay. It looks really similar. Of course, these travel brushes have seen more action. They're not new. And there's always, you know, the factor that you have to put them back in, but seem fairly similar, except that the new one has a much finer point. We'll see in time if there's a big difference, but I mean, you can just start with the regular ones, and that's perfect. They're really good, and you don't really need the travel ones. I got the travel ones because the regular ones were not available when I wanted to try them. If people want specific breeds, there are rescues that are breed-based. See? I didn't know that, Grace, but it's sort of really cool and expected. Denise is saying that Cricket, her cat, was a 1.5-year-old foster. No kittens for Denise. They're cute but legit insane. That is so true. Kittens are amazing, but they're like impossible. Like you can just they are very entertaining because you can never really know what's gonna happen with them. Again, I mention it often, but go check out the Kitten Academy livestream. Their kittens are so funny, and they still have the mommy, Pumice, and she's not very old herself, so she's just barely old enough to have kittens, so she's a bit of a kitten, and she plays with her babies, and it's so funny. No. Please, Cyan, don't tell us what happens with unwanted pets. I have no tolerance, no buffer. I'm gonna cry if people start telling sad stories about pets. Denise is saying that before Cricket, she tried to adopt a kitten that was literally drove a roommate out. He was possessed by Lucifer. She's sure of it. Yeah, like adult pets are so relaxed and so chill, and just, you know, they're just happy, and they just want a cozy place and some food. The chat goes by really fast today. Yeah, the common dropped pet is a young female cat who's already pregnant. People don't want to get their pets, their female pets, spayed, and then they get pregnant, of course, and then they don't want to take care of a pregnant cat, so they just drop her off somewhere. That's how we got our pets. Our pets are babies from a mom that was dropped in the middle of nowhere. The mom was rescued, so there's that, and she had her baby in safety in a shelter. But yeah, I'm gonna look for a t-shirt that says adopt on shop. I have a patch, I have a badge. Never apologize for mentioning Kitten Academy. Oh, I love these guys. Like Kitten Lady, you see, she's amazing. And I think she got some flack lately, and I cannot for the life of me fathom why someone would give her flack for that. But she decided to adopt. They don't adopt. They shelter, and then they find homes for the pets once they are spayed and neutered. But she would usually go with taking care of kittens, like kittens that have been abandoned and have no mom. But recently she decided to take on a mom a cat mom, a queen, that was just about to have her babies, and she had them like the next day. She was really due for the baby. And I think people have been like angry at her for doing that. And it's just so silly to be angry at her for doing that. Like, yeah, sure, it's different from regular stuff that she does, but she's still preventing those kittens from ending up in a situation where they are not cared for properly. So why are people mean to her? She does amazing work. I can see a bit more. Maybe it's just my brain, but for me, breeding makes a tiny bit more sense when you check out for dogs, because there is a lot of factors that are very different. I'm sure it's the same like for cats, but it doesn't really show, and ultimately cats are just like made stronger by the fact that they're a hodgepodge of whatever, and it doesn't really affect them. They stay the same size, and they don't you know, have super different qualities. Like, a cat is a cat, and you never know what you're getting until it's there. So I don't really understand why such a need, other than perhaps vanity, or like people really allergic who want to get a non-allergenic pet. But like for dogs, there's a bit more to the breeds, like the size and the ability to withstand certain temperatures or whatnot. So it makes a tiny bit more sense in my brain, perhaps wrongly, but still. But for cats, I'm just like, just don't weaken cats by making them super specific breeds. You want them to be more to be mixed up, and you still never know what you're getting. I mean, it's an animal, and it has its personality and its quirks, and it's gonna do its stuff, and there's really not much you can do about that. I am okay with snakes. There's bugs just bother me, but snakes are okay. Oh, it's so nice to read everyone's story about their shelter pet and how they got their cats. Even if some stories are pretty insane, the good thing is that you saved them and they're taken care of now. Yeah, Lana is saying that breeding can be done with responsibility, that they know some breeders who first have buyers and then let the dogs breed, so there are no puppies left homeless. Yeah, and I think the main issue I see with breeding is that you, in a way, you end up weakening the strength of the species, because the pool of people you can breed your pet with is limited, since you decide that you won't let them breed with just about any other any other dog or cat. So yeah, I thought that was the concern, but I've always had cats from shelters. I didn't have that many cats. The one cat we had from the pet store back then, when it was still possible to buy cats in the pet store, she had so many issues, the poor little thing. She eventually died of a heart attack, just to give a frame of reference. So that wasn't easy. We gave her a good life, but 10 years is not really super long for a cat. And it was mostly due to stress she endured at the vet, so, and at the pet store. And like, I saw it in the chat, but oh yeah, Grace is right. Cats are cats are cats. A cat is a cat. That's all there is to it. But they're saying that of all the cats they've had, or the cats had, The only cat that was a total nightmare was a pedigree cat. James Barton is asking if I have seen some of the recent hybrid cats, the genetically engineered one. I don't think I have. I saw that the cats they tried to get from mixing a wild small cat with a domestic cat, and you get maybe Denise is more aware of these the names they give to the breeds in those situations, but I've seen it done a lot more recently, like mixing a truly wild animal with a domestic one, because the smaller wild cats, they're about the same size as a regular cat, so it's not super striking. Catching up. Yeah, breeding can be done well, but there are still so many animals in the shelters that I really wish people were more aware that the breed doesn't really make the pet as much as the pet itself. It has its own personality, so you can have a breed cat that is impossible, and you can have the sweetest little shelter pet that is going to be just awesome. Yeah, that's the thing for dogs. Like service dogs, certain personalities are good, but I really hope that the breeders have in mind that perhaps to not necessarily breed within only the one species. Like say a couple of species share similar behaviors, maybe it's a good idea to mix them a bit, to make them stronger by mixing them. Because it seems like breed cats, not cats as much as dogs, but they get a lot of problems from being bred so tightly. Like there's the hips and yeah. And it makes me so sad because, I mean, it lessens their life quality, and if it's a service dog, the person cannot rely on them for as long as they could have. And it's so sad. I mean, they're hurting, so... Savannah cats and Bengal cats, are they genetically engineered, or did it just happen? I have a bit of an issue when people want specific pets breed for vanity. Like they really like the look of certain pets, or I don't know if there's any ground to that, but I've seen like Chihuahuas being really in demand, and I really wonder if that has caused problems to the general breed, because how do you cannot produce them. They are living things. They will happen you know, through the regular life-giving process. Oh, thank you guys. I'm glad the hamster is better than... Well, this is not so bad with the colors on. Truly. Yeah, I agree. Where's Tiffany? Tiffany has, what, 3 cats, 1 bunny, and 1 dog? So she has a bit of an experience with all these pets. Yeah, one of the reasons why they decide to breed like wilder cats with domestic cats is for the people who are allergic to cats. Some of the mixes, they end up, I guess, not producing the same substance, like proteins that make people allergic to cats. So they become an option for people that have allergies. And I'm like, okay, fine, but as long as it's not to the detriment of the pet. And sometimes, you know, these breeds that are mixed with wild cats, they don't make good home pets. I've seen, I can't remember if it was Big Cat Rescue or, I think it was Big Cat Rescue, but they had just taken in one of those types of pets, like a small wild cat. I think it was a small wild cat crossed with a domestic cat, but it was not it was still a wild animal. It was not some animal that you could just have in your home and care for the same way you care for a regular cat. He had like specific demands and a behavior that was not really appropriate to being indoors, so she had to bring him to Big Cat Rescue so they could take care of the cat as a wild animal. A good way to, if you are looking for certain behaviors in your pet, like for example, if you want a cat that's cuddly or like has a lot of energy, there are ways to go to the shelter and ask to perhaps look at the cats and see them how they behave, or spend a couple of moments with them, see if there's any of them that will be more cuddly or will come to you. Also, a good way to have a cat that is more clingy is sometimes to have only one cat. I am not super in favor of having only one cat if you're not home all the time, because they can get lonely. But from experience, the cats I've had that were alone, they were a lot, like they identified more with the humans than with the other cat, because there was no other cat. So they would see us in a different way that, say, cats with other cats will see humans, and that can sometimes make them more like in love with their human, and they will like to spend more time with you and be super clingy and cute. And I love my non-clingy cats. But the pets, they have their own personality. Everyone who says that cats don't have personalities has never had a cat, I think. But yeah. That's how I got my first cat. We went to the local SPCA, and I was a kid. I was 5 by then, but we just spent the moment with the new litter of kittens, and I chose my cat because I loved this one cat that was doing whatever he was doing at the time, and that's the one we brought home, and he was a really good cat. So you can see the cats, if a cat from a litter of kitten, or if a cat in the shelter is super cuddly and likes to be petted and comes to you, well, that's something, you know, to. I think that the key with cats. Hello? Oui. Oui, je passe bien. Sorry about that. So what I was talking about cats. Yeah, the key with cats is you need to give the time to the cat to be a cat. Like, you don't pet them right away. You let them smell your hand first, and they need to like register who you are, your smell, and you try to not talk too loudly to them because they hear much better than we do. So if you are loud, perhaps the cats, they will be a bit like impressed in a bad way with that, so they will not behave like they usually would. So you just try to stay calm and let them smell you, and go like softly with them, and and you'll see how the cats behave. If the cat doesn't really care, some cats will just like put their whole head in your hand because they want to be petted. So yeah, I can't say for dogs because I've never had dogs. I've only had cats, and like I said last time, my experiences with dogs were not all good, but I can tell you that cats, they're okay, and you just gotta understand a couple of basic rules to how they work, and you should be fine. I'm gonna try to draw Dante. It's gonna be a bit difficult because it's a dark picture, but maybe if I focus a bit more on the silhouette, I can get something decent done. Oh, I'm glad you liked the sketch of Dory, Dan. Oh, coffee break. Ugh, it's cold. Ugh. Oh God. The only dog that I was ever really good with is one of the dogs that they had, that Mr. E's parents had. She was a Bernese. I am not sure what the breed name is in English, but she was a Bernese dog, and she was really calm and really like not as excitable as other dogs. And at some point she just came to me, and she just like she sat next to me and I was standing, and she just put her head like on my thigh, and I petted her, and she was super calm. And that's the only like really good experience I've had with the dog. It's like perhaps she understood me a bit better than the other dogs I've seen. Like she didn't try to play with me or to lick my face or, you know, do weird stuff that I wouldn't have known how to behave. She just wanted to get a couple of head scratches, and her head was so soft. Heather has some pretty peculiar cats. Like she's saying that one of her cats will run towards her at full speed, jump up from about 6 feet away, and land squarely on her chest. She catches him, and he walks around to her right shoulder and dangles his back legs down her back. Okay. Okay. Oh, a French question. Haha. Question: how do you pronounce lac de Garance rose, auréoline, and ceruleum in French? Well, like lac de Garance rose, auréoline, et ceruleum. Ceruleum and ceruleum are very similar. Auréoline and auréoline as well, but lac de Garance rose is quite a mouthful. Oh, it's so cute reading everyone's pet stories. Yes, it is Dante I'm drawing. When I was a kid, the cat I had when I was a kid, it was a really good cat. Like, he was super patient, and I could like dressing up with baby outfits, and he would look at me, you know, with those cat eyes that are not super happy, like big round eyes, black. But he never bit me, he never ran away, and I would just like dressing up like a baby and put him in the cart and carry him around, and he would play along for the most part. It was a really good cat, super patient with kids. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys caught it, but Dante the dog, the one I'm drawing right now, he likes to to listen to the live streams, apparently, which I think is really cute. My French has to be taken in with the caveat that it's French out of it's Canadian French, so it's been influenced by the local vernacular and our history with the English being here as well. So there are kind of a couple of words in there that are quite unique and interesting in the way they came about. Like we Frenchified Nevermind. It would mean the same thing as Nevermind, but we, like old French Canadian people, they found a way to write it in French. Like mostly pronunciation, but it meant the same. The pronunciation was similar, but you know, it was a French thing, so that's kind of funny. And like our swear words are really unique. Oh, hi Val. And apparently Dante only listens to me. Oh, that's so cute. I don't think you ruined our French. You made it, like, the English made it more unique. Yeah, it's exactly like how English in the United States is different from English in England. Like when I went to France or Switzerland, and I spoke with French people from over there, they had a hard time understanding what I was about, because I have an accent, and I would try to say certain words and they would repeat them back, and I was like, it's not sounding right the way you say it. And they're like, well, it's not sounding right the way you say it. And I'm like, oh damn. But yeah, I'm it's not necessarily a patriotic thing, but I quite like the way we've made our French really unique and really like our thing. It's there isn't anything like it anywhere. You know, a bit like how Creole is has French also in it, but if you speak French and you hear someone speak Creole, you can't really understand what's going on, because they've made it like their own thing, and they've merged it with their local languages as well. Patricia is saying that Canadians are taught Parisian French and have a hard time with Québécois, which is what I am. Yeah, Parisian French is not exactly the same thing as Québécois. I think my pen is giving me a hard time over the red pencil because it's really fine on, well, it's mostly fine on the regular paper. Is it the proper pen I picked up? Yeah. But it's sort of a bit, it's more jumpy than usual. Oh, I think, Patricia, I think there's always a bit of problem with the people as well. You know, the what is it, the frogs and the square heads, blockheads, I don't really know, but my parents were really into that stuff. Aw, thank you, Lena, that's so nice. And darker pets are a bit harder to draw still because it's a bit more difficult to see how everything is. Oh, yeah, sure. No problem, Val. Ugh, cold coffee break. Eek. I really enjoyed this super dark color that I can get by mixing Perlin green and this dark red. Like this super dark green and red makes a really nice neutral dark black color. Sam is saying that he just fell in love with phthalo blue. We seem to be almost done with snow at the moment over here. I still kind of expect it to snow back like any other day, because I'm like, this is, we usually don't get done with winter until it's like 30 degrees outside, Celsius. So I kind of expect it to be like still winter for a bit, but if I could be wrong, that'd be fine, you know. I don't really mind being wrong on that count. It's okay. It's a pretty there's a bit of a blue sheen to Dante's coat that I'm gonna try to suggest here, but I don't think it's gonna be strong enough. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. Yeah, Lee, you're right. I was talking about spring yesterday with Lee, and they are from Canada as well. So I'm like, hey, maybe spring soon, and you know, some greenery around and all that. And yeah, nope, I'm not so sure about it today. Though the tulips and the crocuses are poking out. Well, more than poking out, they're growing. They're there. So I'm sort of curious to see how the weather will continue, considering that some of the plants are coming out, like the early plants are coming out finally. My favorite part of spring is like the few days over which the leaves all grow all at once. Like the trees are bare, and the trees are bare for a couple of days, and the trees are bare again, and suddenly poof, leaves. That's like my favorite part of spring. Oh no, you have snow. It has not reached us yet, but I think it's planned for tonight. I wonder if this will make the maple season better though. Like the frost and defrost, and I don't exactly know how it works, but if it could make like maple syrup more affordable for us here, I'm okay with more snow. Just give me my maple syrup, please, and not at this like $10 a can price, please. Yes, I did order the travel set that a lot of you chimed in at last week, and I still get emotional over it. So again, thank you everyone who sent some money last week. I was able to get the set, and I'm really excited to showcase it and present it to you guys, because I feel like this could be a really nice one. Does more snow mean more maple syrup? Not exactly, but I think there is yeah, Lee's saying it. Maple season is when it is above 0 during the day but below at night. There's something about the way the frost and defrost will cause the trees to make more sap, which you can then transform into maple syrup, I think. Like they would talk about that a lot when we were kids and at school, but now it's a bit distant. Are you starting to blush now, Ev? Yes, I am. Not that it's very hard to make me blush, to be honest, but still. It was really weird to be able to put in the order. Like, I was so happy and felt so grateful, and I'm like super excited because it makes this all the more special. Okay. So yeah, we have Dante on the sheet, Sax and Dory, so I will take a new sheet and draw a new pet. No, don't break me 2 weeks in a row, pretty please. It's not nice to break your YouTuber. Don't break your YouTuber. Glue doesn't work on YouTubers. Okay, so I've drawn a cat, a hamster, and a dog. Let's see. There's a lot of cats. I think it's gonna be a cat again. I think I'm gonna draw this one because that's so funny. It's such a funny, cute face. I will probably mispronounce this, but I will say it the way Malvina told me, but it's Shamat. It's a lady cat, I think. Yeah, last week, to celebrate the fact that I had reached 5,000 subscribers, like, people were incredibly generous with the super chats. And Valerie just, you know, fanned the flames, and through everyone's generosity I was able to order the core watercolor travel set to test and use and review and demo and enjoy, which sort of broke my brain. Oh, apparently Shamat is a female, but not a lady at all. Oh, wow. Like, Valerie is more aware of my numbers than I am. I really need to update the board with more pictures, because I know there are a couple of cute pets that I want to have, you know, available to draw eventually, like Havoc and more of Heather's kitties, and there's Val's pets that I haven't yet added in. And you can always post things on Instagram with the hashtag Eve Draws Pets, or yeah, send them to me. If we talk on Facebook, you can send them on Facebook, and you know. It's good practice, and pets are awesome, and I really enjoy doodling them, and I appreciate that you guys are okay with me doodling your pets, because that way I know that I'm not gonna have any issues. I hope so, but from, you know, copyright stuff or besides, your pets are all really cute and fun, and you can share stories, and it's you know, it's a lot more fun than just any random pet on Google image search. When I said that Valerie fanned the flame, she answers that, well, she does play with fire, and yeah, that's fair enough. Hi Paulo, welcome to the live stream. Aww. So Heather is saying that they decided to sign up for Pinterest to post kitties, but it's asking her gender, and everyone is making suggestions like, is there an irrelevant option? Grace is saying, Heather, it's cat. And apparently the options are male, female, and custom. Oh yeah, doggies too. I drew, Paulo, I think if you just came in, you missed on the first round of pets, but I drew a kitty, a hamster, and a doggy. Yeah, I'm kind of happy when they have an option that you can just say unspecified for the gender, because it's just like, it's like, why do you, I know it's for like the statistics and the demographics and whatnot, but then again, I just want to use your service. Don't leave me be, pretty please. So James is saying, James Barton is saying that a lot of people dislike the idea that a person can turn YouTube, Twitch, etc. into career. He disagrees. I really disagree too. I mean, you can... Why would there be a restriction on what you can make a job out of? A career maybe not, because I don't think YouTube is going to be there forever. But I fail to see how creating content for any platform is a bad thing, and how making a living out of it is also a bad thing. To me, it's all good. More knowledge, more people, more friends. I mean, what's wrong with that? I really love this rounded eye expression, but it's not easy to draw equal on both sides. I hope that's not too bad. I think people who get a bit blocked by the fact that people can make a living out of YouTube or Twitch is that they don't feel like there's any work that goes into it. Like, they don't understand like all the workings behind the screen. It might seem like just someone like, well, you just film yourself doing it anyway, and then you post it, and ta-da, money. And it's like, well, not exactly, you know. that's not the case quite. So I think that might be one of the things. Like, if you would challenge any of them to actually create content, perhaps then they would change their mind, because they would see like all the hard work in research, editing, writing, and you know, all the tools, and the fact that you have to like draw the thing, play the thing. Some people will try to have it like easier, like they will use shortcuts or whatnot to perhaps make it, but I think for most of the regular people, like there's a lot of work that goes in it before they get to a point where it's it starts becoming, you know, like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like before you become even with all the expenses and effort you've put into the thing. Like nothing of that is free, and nothing of that just happens because it looks like that, maybe because a lot of the popular people now, it's easier for them because they don't have to you know, be stressed about money and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm rambling. Sorry. Yeah, like Otto is saying, that they have never worked as hard as they have been since they started YouTube, and that includes a PhD. Hi. I'm gonna butcher this, I'm so sorry, but Eu costumava ser ninguém. Thank you so much. Lee is saying that they think as a society we have a weird contradictory idea of what it takes to make any creative career. I think so. As far as I know, the most I've seen of this kind of weird situation is that, like, people are like happy in a way, or I don't know, they say, oh wow, that's really cool that you can do like this thing as a job, like art in whatever way. But when, not all of them of course, but I've seen it often, like when they go like, oh, I would like to encourage you, how much for a painting, and you quote an actual price for a painting, and you're met with disbelief. Like it's like they don't see the value, and they don't see the work, and they don't seem to understand what it means actually to be an artist and to make a living out of this. Like perhaps they only see the big masters or the popular names in their head, and they don't really have an idea of what the day-to-day situation is. But it's always a bit funny, like when you quote a price and people are like, whoa, that's expensive, and you're like, well, yeah, but I'm gonna spend like 20 hours on this. What did you expect? Did you expect me to charge you $100 and be paid $5 an hour? I'm not gonna be able to have a roof if I do that. So what do you want me to do? Oh yeah, and if you're a girl on the internet, that's even worse. It's like fun goes on a vacation. Like the standard is even worse when you're a girl, and they're like, how, what, blah. I made her so wide-eyed, and that's the favorite part of the picture. I ended up emphasizing it a lot. And she's so cute with the big eyes. A cute baby cat. Yeah, the cat is still there. I can't bring myself to like mess up the cat on the palette. Hey, hi, Hercule Poirot. Yeah, Van is saying that he thinks it's more not knowing what art costs. Yeah, that's one part of it. There are many factors that could sort of mix someone up in regards to that. Like either the fact that when you see an art print, it's going to be a fraction of the price, you know, so perhaps they expect actual originals to be on the same price basis, maybe. I am not sure, but it's just weird. And it has happened with paid gigs as well. Like I would be offered a job, and not necessarily something, you know, awful, something quite okay actually, but like when I factor in my time and everything and all the work and all the expenses, well, I got meet up with oh, that's too expensive, this is what we have. And I'm like, well, okay, I will take it, I guess. But it's like I didn't have much of a choice. I ended up doing the gig at not a very good rate for me. So it's kind of depressing in a way, because you're like, well, this is supposed to be, you know, my industry, and they are struggling just as much as I am, and they can't even pay people. They can pay, you know, okay, but not quite okay enough rates. So you're like, well, I can't. What am I supposed to do? Oh no, Otto, I hope the migraine is gonna not be too bad, and it's okay if you have to go. I mean, migraines are awful. Yeah, internships are one way of ripping off young artists, where they basically make them work for free and don't pay them, and they say, well, you're gaining experience and you can put that in your resume and all that. And you're like, yeah, sure, but what am I supposed to eat? Like, do you pay for my food? What, my roof? How, what? And they often will go for like people that still live at their parents. So they're like, well, you're still with your parents, so you don't really have any expenses, so you can learn during this internship and then have that to put on your resume. And like, yeah, okay, fine, but that's not given to everyone. That's kind of a really unique circumstance. And I guess not all parents can also afford to pay extra for their kids for such a longer time. So, oh, Denise, have fun cleaning up. I hope it goes well. Chris is saying that it's not really true, that there are plenty of very popular men who are artists on YouTube. Is there? No, not that I doubt it, I just don't have... I have Mark really come to mind, but aside from him... Oh no! I didn't know that! James Barton is saying, e-beggar is a term being tossed around a lot lately. I had never heard of it. It's really insulting. Hercule Poirot is saying, lots of people like you work so hard for their videos and put in lots of effort and material into them. It makes them angry when we get insulted by viewers that never post anything on YouTube themselves. Yeah. Patricia is saying that when she was a professional photographer, people wanted to pay her less because they thought she wasn't serious. Yeah. Val is saying that she absolutely turned down work when they tried to negotiate. Yeah. Dan is saying that there are some popular men, but he can name more women. And Denise is saying that there are more women with channels, so it's disproportionate to start with. I think I can name more women with channels than men. I'm not sure though. I think the I don't really have an issue with Facebook in general. I think what is a bit difficult is that a lot of people on YouTube, and I don't fault them for that, really not, but like when I remember when I was not a content creator, just a user, it was sort of difficult to understand what helps and what doesn't help the content creator. So like you leave your ad blocker on and you do your thing because you're like, ugh, ads are gross. Like, yeah, they are really gross. But when I started making my own content, I started to see how difficult it is to just get, you know, a super basic, like the very small things you can do to help someone who is creating content for YouTube. So it doesn't have to be much, but at the moment, I think what YouTube really checks for their numbers and algorithms is like how people interact with your video. So if you take the moment to like a video you've watched, or leave just a comment on thank you, thanks for the video, like it doesn't have to be complex, because they don't look at the content itself, they just look at the number. So someone could just like mash their keyboard in the comment, I think it would count as interaction regardless. And same for like thumbs down, and it can be a bit off-putting to see thumbs down on a video, but ultimately it's just interaction, and YouTube looks at that as interaction with the video. So it might help them figure out like what kind of ads to put on your video, and see like, well, a lot of people interact with these videos, so we're gonna put, you know, different ads that pay perhaps more. And I don't know the details, but I think like the small things you do when you check out your favorite YouTubers, they make a difference. So yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Kellogg's Loop and Baofam are they are very different though. To me, in my perception of things that might be wrong, Baofam is more like I see him more as a, how can I say, established fine artist, fine art person, and Kellogg's Loop is more like super skilled young artist, like fresh. It's not, how can I say, like I feel like Kellogg's Loop has a bit more of this style to work through before it becomes really unique, while Baofam has already something that is fairly unique, and I think Baofam is a bit older as well, so there's a bit more experience there, which explains why perhaps where this comes from. Patricia, aren't we blocked from monetizing here in Canada? No, it's not. I think you have to reach 1,000 subscribers to be able to monetize your channel. Valerie is saying that watch time is the biggest thing right now. Oh no. Oh. Sad to see that Cyan got hit by, you know, when they changed the monetizing of the channels, like they cut it from smaller channels. I think that's really like a really shitty thing to do. I have to check the time. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to finish after this one, guys, because I'm a bit more pressed for time today. So I'm just gonna finish painting this guy and then I will have to go. Sorry. Well, this guy, it's a lady, so there. It's not a lady, it's it's a miss, it's a, how could I say that? What would you call a lady cat that is rough and tumble? that does not fit the archetype lady model. Oh, mon clavier. I have a hard time keeping track of everything going on, sorry. Yeah, you have a lot of guys, but you have Bailey J and Audra and I'm blanking out on names, but I can think of 100 people. Like the ladies, there's a lot of them. There's Audra Claire, there is Bailey J, Miss Carrie G, I think is... I don't know a lot of them because this is not really my type of content. Like it feels like it's a bit more for a younger audience. Well, not Audra, but Bailey J at least, and some of the other people. Like they are aimed toward people who are at least 10 years younger than me. So not that I just feel like I can't really relate to the content and the situation of these people because I've sort of been through that and even more. So Jezza. Who isn't really a YouTuber but has a lot of subs due to being... Iravil could be one. She has some super nice videos, but she hasn't uploaded anything in a while. So I don't think she sees herself as a YouTube content creator, but she had a fan base before coming to YouTube, and that fan base followed her on YouTube. Her art is really lovely. It's so pretty. What I've seen of the larger channels is that often some of them that have been around for a while, their content will evolve, and at some point it's kind of weird to see because if I take one of the example I can think of is Bailey J. Like she has a well-established channel, but she's not drawing a lot anymore. Like I don't often make my rounds on YouTube, but I was thinking about that kind of stuff, like to see how the older channels were evolving through time, and I did sort of a quick check of like Jezza and Jacqueline and Audra, and it was like Audra, she's not posting on YouTube anymore, I think because she doesn't quite agree with the company, as a personal opinion for her. Jacqueline Leon has a schedule that is really sparse at the moment, I think. Jezza is still going strong, and like Bailey is not really posting art anymore all that much. So it's kind of interesting to see how these players who have been into this for a really long time, how their content has changed over the years, because that sort of can give me a unique perspective on the whole thing. Yeah, there are a lot of people on this channel. And it's like, you know, people like Mark really is super skilled and really talented, but it's not exactly the type of stuff that I watch. So I think that's what I like of this platform, is that ultimately you can work in what you like to do, but that also means that if what you like is a bit more niche, then you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna strike the defensive of people as much as if you draw something that's super popular or super in trend, or, you know, like everyone has seen the trend of the drawing witches with colored hair and witchy hats, and I don't have any problems with that, but it is a trend. So I think that the same artist, if one was to make art in that general direction, they would probably get a bit more eyes on their work than someone who decided to draw zombies. It's just the way these things are at the moment. On another note, tabbies are gorgeous, but they're a lot of work to paint. But Shamot is so cute. Such a pretty kitty. Do I have a couple of fun kitty stories? Oh yeah. One time when I was walking in this town, but not here, like some distance away, we were walking along a street, and at some point it was either fall or spring, because there were not a lot of leaves in the bushes, and I spot a cat curled in a ball, and I'm like, kitty! Well, I don't yell, but I'm like, I get all excited because that was before we had cats, so I was cat deprived, and I was like, kitty! And Mr. He was there, and he was a bit worried because it was like, what if this cat doesn't move? You know what I mean? Like, what if this cat is not sleeping actually? Like, he knew that it would turn me into a bawling mess, and it would just ruin me for the rest of the day. But I was not listening to him. I was like, kitty! So I got closer to the kitty and I said, kitty, kitty! And the ball of kitty just went and unfurled, and the kitty came to see me, and he was like so happy and so cute. So that made me like really happy. It was lovely. It was so cute. Like this ball of kitty, just like, it's nice, it's warm, I can be outside, I'm enjoying this. Hi, will you pet me? Please pet me. I would love to be petted. Please, please. My fur is soft, I swear. Do I have any other cute cat stories to share? One time when I was a kid, when we had this, you know, my grey cat that I've always had the picture around? This big boy. He was an indoor cat. He was not an outdoor cat. So we kept him indoors. But he was a runner. So he would sometimes just run outside when the door was open. And he got away a couple of times, but never too far. The one time he ran away, and he didn't run away too far. It was around the house, we knew for sure. But we couldn't find him. And it was really funny because the day was moving into like evening, and daylight was fading. So we're like, can't find a cat, this is difficult. And at one point I look behind a taller bush, like cedar bush. I don't know what it is, but I don't know the name of all the plants that I know in French and English. But anyway, like, we look behind this thing and I spot the two glowing eyes, and I'm like, oh, I found him, he's there. And I was, what, like 10 at the time, and I call my dad. I'm like, Dad, I know where the cat is. It's over there. So we point the flashlight to where I saw the cat, and nothing. We see absolutely nothing. There's nothing there. And I'm like, what? But there was the eyes just a moment ago. So we close the flashlight, and poop, we see the eyes again. And I'm like, what? Open the flashlight, we don't see anything. Close the flashlight, we see the eyes again. And I'm like, what is this cat doing? What's going on? And it was in, again, another word I don't know, but you know when you have a basement, and say this is the ground floor, and you have windows that are part above the ground level and part below, they like create this space. Like, you have, this is the top view, you have the window here, the wall, and you have sort of this area around the window that's deeper. So this is deeper, and all this area is ground level, and this is the window. So this area was deeper, and the cat was in there, and he would like prop his head up like this when there wasn't any light, and he would like lower himself when we would put the light on, so we couldn't see him. So eventually my dad got fed up with the shenanigans, and he just like parted the bushes away and like broke a couple of branches and just grabbed the cat and like, "You're coming home," and he brought the cat home. But I thought that was really funny. It was such a silly cat. Oh, so that's the story of Shamat. She was from the pottery classes, so she was like the hanging around the place, or she was the studio cat. Do I have another cat story while the chat catches up to me? Yeah, well, the standard stuff, you know, like kittens falling in the toilet and needing to be rescued. Luckily, both times the toilet bowl was clean. Like this cat, this gray cat, he would enjoy going into the ceiling of the basement at the place, at my parents' place, my dad's place, because the way it was set up, let's say you have this space here, which is the tool shed, like not the tool shed, but the place where all the tools and all the litter box was and all that. So this area of the basement, and then you have the rest of the basement, and there's a door somewhere that connects the two. But over here it's not finished, so the ceiling is not finished, so you have openings that lead into the ceiling of the other part. So this is the ceiling, but there is no ceiling, there's just opening, and the cat would go in the opening, he would climb up on top of stuff, get in there, and like wanders around in the ceiling because cat stuff to do. So so yeah, and we would search for him, and at some point we realized he was there, because if you looked at the ceiling, it was mostly straight, but then there was like a a bump in the ceiling. And we were like, why is there a bump in the ceiling there? So we prodded the bump, like whoop, and it went mom, like it activated the cat. So we're like, oh, that's the cat, that's where the cat is. And I'm pretty sure if my dad ever remakes the ceiling of the basement, we're gonna find so many cat toys on that ceiling, all dried up and crusty with dust. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he stashed some of his toys in there. Oh, so apparently Shamat was living in the backyard, occasionally running into the class because it was warm inside. So yay, someone stole a cat. Someone followed my advice and stole a cat. Well, she needed to be stolen. She had a strong need to be given warmth and good care. So kudos. Heather is saying that when she flushes the toilet, Havoc comes running to watch. That she likes watching the water go down. Pico does that too, but with the sink. Like if we throw some water in the sink, it like twirls and make like streams in the sink, in the kitchen sink, and she tries to catch them before they disappear in the hole. All right, so that's it for the stream today. I cannot stay any longer. I have to go really quickly actually. So we have Shamat and Dante and Dory and Socks. So thank you very much for everyone who was there during the live stream. You guys make these super fun. And I'm sorry if I missed anything in the chat. You can always leave messages in the comments or poke me on Facebook or anywhere. I hope you all have a super nice weekend. And if you don't have a pet, you can always borrow one or steal one, if they give them some lovin'. And I really hope you all have a great time the rest of the weekend, and not too much snow if that's a risk, like for us Canadians. And we'll see each other next week and this week, and I'm never really far, so I hope you will enjoy the rest of the day, and see you all soon. Bye bye.